allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'll get it.
Roll call, please.
Paul Jenderski,
Present.
Michael Nesbitt,
Present.
Edgar Titoff,
Present.
Kathy Harris,
Present.
Darcy McSwain,
Present.
Jennifer Rosser Nesbitt.
Present.
Any adjustments to the agenda?
Additional agenda item letter H, park trains.
Can I get a motion?
Motion to approve the agenda as amended.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Any announcements, public comment? Spicer engineer report?
Good evening, council. Busy week this week as far as things go. TMF side of things started off, so you probably saw the big trucks driving around and kicking that off. It's been going, I think, smoothly so far. We started them all the easy ones, I think. They started down on Hanchett and are kind of slowly working north through the village. They've got 58 done this week as of just Mondays when they started, and they found 5 galvanized services, which in themselves aren't necessarily problematic, but unless you can prove that it was never previously connected to lead, you have to go ahead and replace it. So we'll work with DPW once we've verified everything to get a plan together for attacking those galvanized, and fingers crossed we don't find any lead, but if we do, those will be high priority.
2 additional today.
Okay, 2 additional today.
Okay, so
yeah,
7.
Seven so far out of the 58. So they're on pace to finish up about end of June, early July, more or less, but contract says they have until August, September. Once they get, right now where they're just doing everything that's kind of out in the grass, and then they'll come back at the end and do everything that's on M52, and then they'll come in after that and do everything that's maybe in a driveway or in an asphalt or any kind of harder, more challenging ones. So let's see, the last month prior to this week we had changed the contract to add additional services to just use the full kind of grant allocation that the village has. So we went from 356 services to 570, which will just get all the last little bits, every unknown service in the village. We'll know it, we'll know where all the galvanized and lead is, if whatever we find, and the village will be extremely ahead of the ball in terms of getting those services replaced and getting into compliance with the state.
Weren't you guys gonna supply some kind of maps for some of us to know where you're gonna be doing it and when you're gonna be doing it possibly?
Yeah, we don't have a map from the contractor as far as whether they plan to be when, like in terms of this week we're doing this. They kind of just really, it goes day to day based on how many they get done, what issues they have. But they started on Hanchett and they're kind of moving forward north through the village. That's kind of the best scheduling I can get.
Got you guys on Chesaning Street there too?
They've got some on Chesaning. They'll probably loop around to that, I would guess probably next week, kind of as they're kind of going that way. They'll grab Chesaning, go up, keep going up Flint through the main part of town, and then get everything north of the river.
And some people are holding off on doing some stuff
Okay,
because of, they didn't know a time frame of
sure.
when you were gonna come through. If you're gonna come through, there's no sense of them doing some stuff in their yard, so.
Sure. The work that they're doing, if you've seen, anybody's seen kind of the ones that they have done, they're digging, they basically have this pressure washer more or less, but like super powered pressure washer, where they use that to spray and kind of push the dirt, and then they've got a big hose on a truck that then sucks all that dirt and water out. And so the excavation that they create ends up being probably a foot wide and about 3 or 4 feet long. And they'll go with their shovel and they'll like kind of dig that top 6 inches of sod or so, roll that over, do their work, fill it with sand, roll that sod back over. So unless somebody's planning on doing some yard work right near their shut-off valve, then I think they would be unencumbered by, I wouldn't see any need to hold off as far as yards getting torn up or anything like that.
Well, I'm just saying, like some of the project people doing up, when you're putting in the piping and whatever, the people are kinda holding back on doing stuff because they don't wanna.
We did get a call today from a lady, hey, don't put seed down, I'm gonna change the siding on my house and I'm gonna make a mess before you guys fix it, so hold off. And so there's calls both
Okay.
ways.
Yeah, I would just recommend people to communicate to the village and we can I mean, they're going kind of in their systematic way, but we can also be
We just said something in
flexible.
there about having a map.
Yeah,
Letting the public and tell us know.
yeah, we've got a map of the full scope of everything that we're doing, we just don't have anything that says, this week they'll be, be in your neighborhood this week kind of thing. But if there's specific people with specific questions, either have them reach out to the office or reach out to me and I can give them a better estimate of when we think we'll be out there. Because they're getting about 20 a day or so and kind of based on looking at our map. There is a map that's available to the public that shows the full scope of all the services that we're doing. Did we post that on the website or we're gonna post it
Well,
on
at least phase
Facebook?
2, something that shows exactly where you guys are gonna be going.
For phase 2 as well?
And there's
Okay.
gonna be time frame. I mean,
Sure.
you don't know exactly what day you're gonna be there, we get that, but.
Yeah, absolutely. I can try and get some maps.
I mean, some of it's showing like it's gonna be done in August and whatever, and here and there, whatever, so I mean, they just want a rough time frame of when this stuff's gonna be done.
Yeah, I can get something to heart and then we can get it posted wherever it needs to be posted, get some rough time frames. Outside of that, Spicer's been working, we assisted the DPW to distribute the door hangers for all the affected residents, trying to find some of those additional valves that we added to the project. Trying to keep DPW's hands free a little bit to keep up with all the stuff, getting ready for beautification day and all that fun things there, so. Other projects that we got going on as far as the Safe Routes project, just continuing with the design, finalizing the sidewalk alignments, and some of the other, just cutting plan sheets, all the other CAD office work. On phase 2, rural development application is in full steam, and then also we provided the village with a bid, or a notification advertisement for bids for tree removals, and so we'll be opening bids on that on May 27th, 2 weeks from now. And then at the June meeting, we'll have a recommendation based on the bids we get back for all the associated tree removal work on phase 2. And we'll kind of just keep
You
moving
guys
forward.
walk the sidewalk where they were gonna put them and stake them off, so everybody knows what's going on?
Not yet, nope. So as far as phase 2, we haven't applied to RD yet, just talked with the people in, DC today and yesterday. And then Safe Routes, Ryan and I haven't gotten together on that.
Yeah.
We just filed our quarterly report. It's a 2026, fall of 2026 project, so, just filing the report and moving along.
Yeah, those two are both kind of just slowly coming along. A lot of the heavy stuff has been the TMF grant for sure. And then the last thing you can see on the agenda, item D in new business, we've provided the village with 2 resolutions to apply for category B grant funding. That's allowed for certain small communities to apply for grant funding towards, road restoration projects. It is a matching grant. Hart's got all the specifics. We've applied for it for a few years now, previously received money for it, and just looking to see if we can, get into the pool again for that, to get some road improvements, either on, Walnut Street and Cherry Street to coincide with phase 2 water improvements.
What's the grant go for, how much?
250,000, so we have a 500K in roads, so while you're doing the sidewalks, it's always nice to fix the road.
250s are kicking in 250.
Right,
Correct.
exactly. If the village was to receive funding it. Any other questions? Perfect, thank you, and then I'll let Mark provide an update on the planning side.
Yeah,
And Bob.
basically I'll just be here tomorrow for the planning commission is tomorrow, right?
Yep,
Yep, and we'll go through we did the first run through everything, we'll go through those comments, the red lines, and just, anything else somebody that maybe has thought of in the meantime, and just do some follow-up on the items we discussed previously.
we gotta add cross-connection ordinance for the
Yep.
future work on cross-connections, and there's other things we could look at, we'll see what the planning commission comes up with.
Okay, any questions on anything even that Austin might have spoken about? Alright, thanks.
Thanks, Mark. Council minutes approval for April 9th of 2025.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting for April 9th, 2025.
Support.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Commission and committee reports. Item A, planning commission, no April meeting. Item B, park and recreation committee for April 16th, 2025.
I'll make a motion to approve the Parks and Recreation Committee meeting minutes from April 16th.
I'll support.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Item C, Downtown Development Authority, no May meeting. Communications. Item A, play in the parks.
I'll make a motion to accept and file the communications.
Support.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Payment of claims.
I'll make a motion that we, pay the bills for the month of April, in the amount of $329,709.97.
Support.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
Some money.
Oh, roll call.
Paul Jenderski,
Yeah.
Michael Nesbitt,
Yes.
Kathy Harris,
Yes.
Darcy McSwain,
Yes.
Jennifer Rosser Nesbitt,
Yes.
Edgar Titoff.
Yes. New business, item A, Saginaw Future.
So we budget for this as part of our partnerships for business development and economic development. When I got here, it was $1,000 agreement. I didn't think we were seeing the benefit, so I lowered it down to 500, which matches most municipalities. I see that Chesaning is a $3,500 contributor, Merrill's 500, Birch Run's 500, Thomas is 7,000, Tittabawassee 3,000. But again, normally it's more of a township, and the city sees more of this benefit. But we've had good conversations with them, and obviously, I don't know if you've seen downtown, but finally the facade is gone. The fake facade that we had covered up next to Tony's is gone. The building in the back has been demolished, and it's completely done. So the plan eventually is to rebuild that. And so I think this is where we would have Saginaw Future come in, and, because the facade grant program through the DDA only goes so far. You know, it's 5,000 here, maybe 10,000. What he's trying to do is gonna cost around $700,000 to $800,000. He wants to build up, he wants to add businesses, he wants to add apartments.
So what's
So-
this 500, what are we getting?
So we're paying into this to be a part of the Saginaw Future, where now we can leverage some of their grants, some of their money to help people downtown rebuild and invest in their own businesses. So looking at brownfield development grants through the MEDC that they have access to, things like that. So
Well, you just said we're not really getting anything out of it, so you
Correct.
lowered it to 500, I mean.
Yep, so I lowered
We're
it to
not getting
5,
nothing out of it.
and
What are
now,
you doing?
yep, and now I think we'll finally see some benefit when Jacob rebuilds, and I think we should be able to get,
I'm just saying, I don't think they're gonna be more anxious to help us out if you're lowering the money, just.
$500, I think, is a pretty good, I think it's a good investment for what to reap benefits for the business owners of town. $500, I think, is a good investment.
I mean, does it
it's always
accumulate?
a huge debate, you know, whether you believe in the MEDC or you don't. You know, it's that private funding for public purposes, and
How many
it's,
years have we been putting into this?
so this is my 5th year lowering it, so a couple thousand.
And it kind of builds, doesn't it? I mean,
It does,
you
it does,
pay
and
the
you,
1,000
yeah,
out,
and so,
so.
I'm trying to remember who I was talking with, it used to be Tony, but now we have a new gentleman, just came out, in another meeting, he works at a bank, and he's like, I'm gonna start talking more, we gotta help you out, we gotta do something, so, I hope it's not just lip service, but at the same time, we finally have somebody who wants to invest
Yeah.
hundreds of thousands of dollars in the village, and I wanna help them out as much as we can without, using public funds. That's the difference. It's
Well,
gotta
you
be
got a private
private.
ownership that's putting that in there?
Pardon? Private, yes, yep.
It's the same guy that bought my mom's place. So.
Yep, and so he ordered the facade for that should be in next week. So he's gonna have that demoed, and hopefully the next two buildings should be within the month. Should see new facelifts, new facades, and not exactly sure what's going into the building to the left yet. He's bounced around a few ideas, but I don't think he's determined on one. He still has a long way to go with water. We're looking at water. Like, he's got 2-inch lines. When we did the water project, we didn't reconnect to the fake facade because we knew it was coming out. So we got to figure out water, sewer. If he's gonna have apartments, he wants, how we're gonna split it up. Is 1 bill, 2 bills? How many apartments you plan on
The whole
having?
thing's gonna be apartments?
Up top, he wants to go up, and so that's where.
From Tony's all the way down to the library?
Correct. I'm talking $800,000 worth of investment of his own funds, and if we can help him find grants and lead him in the right way, we should do that.
He's not going to just
Long time
he's
coming.
tore it down now, he's not gonna let it go for 2 or 3 years.
Well, that it'll look better than it did if you
Oh,
lose the
well,
open
but-
space, but the other two are already getting facelifts, yes.
I just hate to see him tear that stuff down and then, even if it does look better,
It's a long time coming,
Yeah, you don't have the
But I don't wanna
fake
wait
facade, you
1, 2,
don't
3,
have
5
the
years
empty
and-
garage, you don't have the broken roof, you don't have people vandalizing,
We're breaking into it.
breaking into it. I guess on the his left building, he's gonna add paint, stone, lights, cameras, so the whole downtown will be accessible for police to access information if anybody's going anywhere, doing anything. Kinda like the library did, so, and he's gonna match the library kind of on style wise, so it's more fluid. I don't know what the term would be, but
That's awesome.
long time coming, like you said.
Yeah. So I'll make a motion to continue our relationship with the Saginaw Future and to pay the invoice in the amount of $500.
I'll support.
Roll call?
Paul Jenderski,
Yeah.
Michael Nesbitt,
Yes.
Kathy Harris,
Yes.
Darcy McSwain,
Yes.
Jennifer Roser Nesbitt,
Yes.
sorry,
All right.
mouthful, Edgar Titoff,
Yes. Item B, Farmers Marketplace, dates and time.
So, we've had 3 inquiries on when our farmer's market's gonna start. Obviously, we're always kinda late. We start in July. Everybody else probably started last weekend, if not sooner. Our farmer marketplace liaison, what do you call it?
Manager.
Manager has no interest in doing it this year. She mentioned our numbers have dwindled. One of the gentlemen that, was it Brad, that came to the park, now has this spot outside of town and does very well, and a lot of people go there. She said, you guys should just not do it for a year and take some time off. This is again part of the discussion I want you to have. Should we post it and look for somebody else? Should we try to start it up? Should we wait till July and see where we're at? Cause that's, normally we start in July 9th to September 24th, so this should be July 8th till September 23rd-ish. So you do have time to think about it, reach out to friends, see if anybody wants to manage. I don't think she makes $50
$50
a week, for 4 hours. When you say it out loud, it sounds horrible. But like you said, there's a lot of competing markets on weekends. I don't know if we need to move the location. This is why I'm bringing it to you.
Last year, we broke even between the money we took in for the vendors and then what we paid the market manager. We were zero, we broke even.
Or if you have ideas on how to make it better. Like I see other places starting today down in Livingston County, they have live music. Maybe there's singer-songwriters at the high school trying to make it really big John Mayer style or something, but I don't know if you wanna do live music and maybe we try to bring food trucks, see if they'd be interested.
Yeah,
I think we talked about that before, about doing something in the
Yes,
park,
that's
because
the
we really
last
have
one.
nothing there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have Coal Miners Fest or horse, we don't have none of that anymore. I mean,
When I was at
it'd be nice
Rebel,
to bring some of that back. I would think just a town picnic thing, and they have barbecue and whatever up there. Help the kids do something.
yeah. I mean, when I was at Rebel this weekend, there was over 700 people there. They had a lot of nice stuff, but I didn't bring my wife, so I didn't buy anything.
I feel like you had bands and that there. I mean,
They had a DJ that was playing
I
country
didn't think it
music.
was as big as it's been in the past.
There's probably easily 1,200 people, but that first year, there's 4,000 people.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, that, you don't make a lot of friends bringing 4,000 people into a town of 2,000 in 1994 1992 we're at now. So, still, 1,200 people is a lot for
Mhm.
a few hours in the village.
It was busy Friday night too.
No decisions need to be made tonight, but you can think about it, toss around some ideas, reach out to people you might be interested, might have connections to people that wanna sell, access to corn, good corn, I don't know.
Well, I think that market that's been at the Nativity Church too is probably
That cuts in a little bit too, yeah.
That's done.
down. Yeah, but
good?
it's still,
Yep, they moved it to the Catholic church and out in Oakley, out in Marion Springs and
So you're all around,
Washington and Saginaw.
what
and
they were
it's
gonna
free
do.
too.
Aren't they gonna do a small one here in town still too?
Yeah, at the Catholic Church.
Okay.
I'll run this by DDA too, see if they have ideas as well, but I'd hate to see it go.
That was the one thing I always struggled with when I was here, was trying to get more people to come, and the market manager tried reaching out to the high school to see if there was any bands that wanted to play, and she started bringing in the food trucks, but
What are the restrictions for the farmer's market? For people coming in to sell stuff?
Restrictions?
Like, if it's a farmer's market, can people bring in chicks or ducks or small animals and do like an animal swap too? It's a farmer's market, that's what I'm wondering.
I'd have to read the
Yeah.
language from the state. There's probably some requirements, cause it
Well, 'cause
goes,
they do
ultimately,
animals-
it goes through the state, so whatever
Yeah.
the state allows.
So I know they do animal swaps at like Tractor Supply and stuff, and those parking lots are packed when you see animal swaps, because people come to get them because they can't get them anywhere else.
You're just trying to get free animals.
No, I have my own. I don't need help.
Need more chickens?
No, I got plenty. You want chicks? I got 36 of them right now in my garage.
No, thank you.
oh my gosh.
There's more coming, so.
We'll just buy the eggs off of you.
I got eggs too.
Okay, that's good.
Twice a year we do pigs.
So, yeah, not to get too far off track, I just want,
Yeah.
think about it, if you have ideas, just send them to me, text them, if you know somebody that might wanna be a market manager, the timing isn't great. Maybe they have young kids and they can get away from, bring them with them, maybe just
I
sell
mean, he's
them.
kinda got an idea. I mean, like they do the Saginaw Fair, do like, you got 4-H and all that stuff, other stuff you can stem off from. I mean, it's not a bad idea.
No,
It's a start.
I mean,
that's
you
what
look
I'm
at
saying. You
it
have
right
to
now,
just
there's
do
fucking
kids and goals and stuff. There's other things you can do to attract
pouring in
people
a
with
lot of
kids.
money.
Right.
If you attract the kids, the parents are gonna follow.
right, right.
Well, we think some, well, we don't know if we're gonna have just something to think about. So we need to do that.
Should we table it, or
Nope,
just,
no, like, just
Okay.
discussion, we,
Decision.
dates and times can be in the future, like I said, we don't normally make.
So
a
you're not really
decision.
doing a farmer's market at all?
Nope, that's, I didn't say that.
Didn't say that.
Nope.
We're
You
gonna
guys should
talk.
probably
Think about it.
let's just table it for a month and bring it back up, and then in June you can set the July
It
dates.
shouldn't just be us. I mean, if somebody else out there's got an idea,
Anybody
good
else
things
out
going in
there
this
have
town,
any,
I'm all for it, anything. Unless we pay them goats and skip it, so I mean, anything.
we just had moved the time back because people were complaining that there wasn't any vegetables when we started
Yeah.
early May. So then we pushed it back until after school started, and people had vegetables to sell.
Is that something like, that we could include crafts? and
There
stuff?
is crafts.
There are
Mhm. I think it's just, it's like homemade, so there's people crochet stuff. I think there's candles,
Honey.
baked goods,
Yeah.
honey.
Okay.
There used to be a pampered chef, you just had to pay extra because it was like a resale type thing, but you just, it wasn't like a garage sale, it was like, I've made, like, I'm an artisan, I bring my stuff to the farmer's market.
I mean, the last little turnout we had up here, I mean, it was packed. The place was packed, you couldn't find parking for the just selling their stuff, what the heck would you call it, whatever you call it. It's pretty packed.
There's a lot of people and they parked a long ways away.
But I'm just saying, you could, like I said, you get a picnic and get people selling their stuff and food trucks and whatever, I mean, you got a hometown Christmas, whatever, hometown picnic or something. I don't know.
We've got hometown days, STC.
Yeah, just
we
throwing
have
that
that.
out there,
When is that?
September.
September, I don't have the date.
I wanna say 28th, but
27th or something, so
Yeah.
we'll have that's kind of like and they're moving to the park, they're gonna have a car show, food trucks, and more shopping and vendors,
September's more in the fall, we're looking for something in the summer.
like a July party or something. What do we have, something
We
in
have-
June?
How much of an opening we have, 3, 4 weeks, 5 weeks?
Well, we got,
How
people
many
that,
weeks did the farmer's market run?
oh,
3 months.
3 months.
July to
But
September.
you
you also have people that rent out the pavilions on weekends for family reunions, you have travel ball coming back.
I think there's like one more tournament left. I think there was 3, there was 1 baseball and then 2 softball, I think they've already had the second softball.
And I'm sure they'll add a couple more last
It's kinda hard to add on last minute like that, if they're not filled up now, and,
October, I'm guessing.
oh, it could be, yeah, in October, yeah.
Well, the weather's nice, let's have a fall ball.
That could happen.
Okay, so we'll reassess for next meeting.
Yep.
Sounds
And,
good.
and reach out to friends, family, people that you know in the community, get some input. We'll do the same.
I'll make a motion to table the farmer's market discussion until June.
Support.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Item C, hydro excavating CCO1.
This is just for you to see, Austin kinda touched on it, but, this increased the contract by 55,000, but we're still well below the 597,000 we were awarded, so, as he mentioned, we go from 356, hydro excavating to 570, so that will be the entire village. Increases, we should be done, like I said before, you have until 2042 to have this all done, we'll be done in 2025. So, doesn't
Adding
change.
more work, is that why they increased it?
Pardon?
Didn't they increase the number?
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm
Increase
saying.
the number
What was
and-
the reasoning for increase, they did it at a price and then all of a sudden you increase it, so did they add more work to it?
Added way more work, their bid came in so low that we're able to add 250 more services, so. So this just is for you to be transparent and see what's going on. With 20 a day, I bet it takes them 5 weeks and they're done with all 570.
That's awesome.
The
Did they
equipment,
leave the existing in? No, did they leave the existing in and then just run a new pipe after they tear it out? I mean,
Yeah, so for what they're doing, all they're doing is doing the hydro excavation, looking at the service. We've got a guy on site to take photos, write it down, communicate, and then they're leaving it there.
well, that's not what I'm asking,
Yeah.
because I did it before, we moved
Sure.
a long time ago. We take the lead services right out
Right,
and then replace them. Do you guys leave them in or you take them right out?
understood, I hear what you're saying. During this project, what they're doing is they're just digging it up, looking at it, and then burying it back. So if they find the lead or galvanized, they're just gonna bury it back in. They'll communicate to the homeowner,
They're just
DPW.
spotting where they're gonna be
Exactly.
doing the work, so some of them might already be good, is that what you're
Exactly,
saying?
yeah, the large majority of them are good. We've done 58 so far. We found 7 that had galvanized. The other 51 were all copper, or copper and plastic. So,
Good.
yeah, and then the DPW will come in, and part of what's in the grant agreement for this project is it covers your, or our engineering fees to actually submit for the next round of funding to actually go in and have, some potential funding to do that replacement project. So,
so we're using grant funds to pay Spicer to go get grant funds.
yeah, it's beautiful.
That makes sense.
Well, we're getting them, so. We gotta use them up, use them or lose them.
Item D, category D grant resolutions 25-9 Walnut Street and number 25-10 Cherry Street.
So we received one of these grants for phase 1, which, so we were able to do a little over $517,000 in new roads in the village. last year. So we applied again and were denied for phase two, so we're looking at maybe using village street fund money for that when we tear up cherry and spruce or whatever else we're tearing up, pine, just so save some money in the budget for that, just in case it comes in affordable. Thinking long-term, thinking 2026, 2027, I'd like to replace walnut or maple, depending on if we get a grant, while we do the sidewalk as well. So I was asked, which one should we go after? And I said, throw them both in, see if they take one. You know, see which one they might fund. So we already applied for walnut, we're denied as well, but, so we'll throw in walnut, throw in maple, and if they take maple, we'll match the 500 on maple, and we'll look at what we can do on walnut, so. Resolution to move forward, this is part of the grant process that you have to have as your application.
And you want two separate motions.
Correct.
I will make a motion to approve resolution 9 to establish request for funding.
I'll support.
Roll call.
Yep. Paul Jenderski,
Yeah.
Michael Nesbitt,
Yes.
Kathy Harris,
Yes.
Darcy McSwain,
Yes.
Jennifer Rosser Nesbitt,
Yes.
Edgar Titoff.
Yes.
And then I'll make a motion for resolution, 25-10 to establish request for funding for, Cherry Street.
Support.
Roll call, please.
Paul Jenderski,
Yeah.
Michael Nesbitt,
Yes.
Kathy Harris,
Yes.
Darcy McSwain,
Yes.
Jennifer Rosser Nesbitt,
Yes.
Edgar Titoff.
Yes. Item E, Hubble contract agreement discussion.
So quarterly bill analyzes all of our generators. We have 3, one at the barn, one at the pump lift station, and one here. Ends up being about $1,500. He's raised the rate on us one time in 20 years. Checks it quarterly, puts in oil if it needs oil, changes anything out that needs it, so I just want, is there anybody else you'd want me to reach out to, or is it good to move forward with?
Right outside of town, right?
Yep,
Yeah, I worked with his brother Dan, he's a good guy.
yep. If you're okay with that, I'll move forward with Bill.
Yeah.
Just, okay. I know he didn't get the bid for the generator last time, I think he was a couple thousand over that Caterpillar.
I'm real happy about it.
He doesn't like checking it, that's for sure, but we'll make sure he does.
Okay, so we're in item F, VC3 firewall replacement.
So we're a small village, we don't really have an IT department, kinda all just, kinda falls on me sometimes, a little HR, a little IT, but. So VC3 is who we use as our, like, cybersecurity. People try to hack into our systems at weekends, nights, they kinda protect us, block them, let us know when our systems are down, so last, was it Friday, from 12 to 2, we were down, they alert us, they open a ticket, they communicate. It used to be out of Bath, Michigan, what was that called? VC3 was bought out, they're out of South Carolina now, but it was, man, I can't think of it,
It was IT.
but IT Right.
Yes.
But there's really only VC3 in the state of Michigan, all those small spots are being bought up. There is a new company of former city and village managers that don't like the service, so they're starting their own IT branch to try to, miss the market on that one, maybe should have invested. But, so this is, basically protects us with a firewall and keeps us safe, so.
You saying you do this, you download something, or they come in?
They
and actually-
they shoot it through their server and protect all our computers.
Do they come in and actually,
They'll come in and any problem we have, set up a time and check it out. We had to purchase a new server last year, I believe it was.
Yeah.
It was pretty old, outdated.
do the,
So this is a 3-year.
in all the cars and all the offices?
No, the cars are done through this county, we don't pay for that.
Well, how are we protected through that?
Yeah, we're.
I mean,
We're not, it's on the,
Is there any way you can hack into that? I mean, is that done
not
with
the car one,
that?
no, it's different, it's a totally separate setup.
two
It's,
different
the
systems.
county's got their own IT department that does that.
Doesn't that link into this in
No.
here?
No.
You don't have nothing
No.
inside?
No. It's all separate,
Is this like a 24-hour service?
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, you might get an email at 12 a.m. that says your internet's down, or 7 a.m. your internet's down. It's like, well,
Well, I know there was a lot of places that were held hostage and some of the hospitals and whatever, they hacked into it and giving you the info until you pay up, so,
Yeah.
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 You can't do it.
so this is our cybersecurity and our firewall protection. So this is the quote. Like I said, there's a new company starting out.
So that's just a year, 25?
It's 3 years,
3 years?
3-year contract. So it's not a really bad new deal. The labor, 1,200. I don't love that, but those tech guys know more stuff than I do.
We don't have any
Not me,
other,
I'm just saying.
we don't have any other companies we can check in
Not,
through the.
they're just starting out as of the winter MML conference.
So maybe in 3 years, they might be a competitor.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Make a motion to accept the VC3 firewall replacement.
Support.
Roll call for that?
Yes.
Paul Jenderski?
Yes.
Michael Nesbitt?
Yes.
Kathy Harris?
Yes.
Darcy McSwain?
Yes.
Jennifer Rosser Nesbitt?
Yes.
Edgar Titoff?
Yes.
So this year you guys budgeted $9,000 for computer maintenance for the office. So this is well within our budgetary realm, and that's why we do what we do.
It's important.
Item G, council appointment.
Obviously, it was a vacancy that you acknowledged, and I believe you received 3 letters.
Does anybody even know all these people? They're here, they wanna maybe get up and introduce themselves?
They're all here, I believe. Mr. President.
Yeah, that's what we'll do, we'll just, one at a time, come on up to the podium and, tell us a little bit about yourself, name, address, what you wanna do for the village. Let's go with, Willard Watts Jr.
Go by Bill. Live over here on Pine Street. I've been in the village for 20+ years. I raised 2 children here, and they're both, Darcy knows them, Ed knows them. Both fine young gentlemen. One's serving our country in the Army, and I've got a 30-year career on the railroad. And
What railroad?
Great Lakes Central.
I work for Great Lakes.
I haven't been there the whole time, but I'm not into politics that much. I have been, and it gets very diluted. So it's kind of nice to know the operation some.
You retired from the railroad?
I am not. I will be. In 5.5 years, I will be.
You must know Mike,
Mike?
the old owner.
I do
I've
not.
been around since I was Tisby. So,
No, I do not.
yeah, but, would you work
He's
track?
actually passed.
You work track, work there?
I'm a track inspector.
Okay.
I've worked in 3 different departments for the railroad. So,
Well, that's good. It'd be nice to get somebody new blood.
yeah, I'd like to learn a little more about the functions of the village and what goes on behind the scenes.
You sure about that?
Well, I'm also the president of my local union,
Good for you.
All right.
so I do take accountability for a lot of people.
Good to know.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you to your son.
How old are you?
I'm 54.
Good. Well, okay.
Thank you.
Can't ask.
Yeah, you can.
Whatever, I just, no idea. I'm looking at the retirement end of it.
Davin Granroth.
I'm David Granroth, live up on 410 West Maple with my wife Amy. We've got 2 little kids, and I've got an adult daughter living with me. She works at Frank's in the bakery, so the donuts, she's contributing to that. I wrote a few notes. I'm out of my comfort zone, speaking in a public space like this. In my day job, I'm an executive at a software company down in Owasso. I'm the CEO of Covenant Eyes Incorporated. We've got about 200 employees and a couple 100,000 users around the world. So I've got experience thinking about leadership and how organizations operate, but I have 0 experience in municipalities. Even the way I was asking some questions of Hart earlier, the way you do finance is also not what I would see in a corporation. So I'm learning some stuff there. I jotted down some notes. What is my hope in joining the council, which I think is what you all asked. First, I want to say the government itself, the village government, I think is actually doing a pretty darn good job as far as I can tell in terms of delivery of services, policing, water delivery, trash pickup, parks, and then the long-term sort of infrastructural questions like handling water lines, thinking about the safe routes to school, handling the funding for that and getting it planned out and working with third parties to execute it. That's what the village government is supposed to be doing. So, good job to the council, the village manager, all the staff of the village. I respect that. I think that's great. Now this is the part that you're not gonna like. The reason that I threw my hat in the ring is because I've been disappointed with the council. I started paying attention when some of the sign issues happened. I thought, what on earth is going on in the village? And so I started paying attention. I hadn't really paid much attention until then. And so I've been attending meetings here and there and listening and learning. I've seen some ethical missteps by trustees. That shouldn't happen. Some choices that were made. There's been some decision-making efficiencies that I think could be done better. And I've seen trustees, although none sitting now, I've seen trustees interfere with the work of the village manager in ways that are frankly out of line, making the operation of the village more difficult when it simply didn't have to be more difficult. And recently the behavior of a trustee that publicly undermined the reputation of the village's police force, which is also bad form and kind of misses the point of what the village council is for. So I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed in how the village council has been operating. Village government, great. Council, could be better, right? A little disappointed.
How could you make it better?
Let me finish. The village council ought to be a body that's viewed with honor by the people of the village. It ought to be a group that's viewed with honor. But I'm afraid the council's reputation tends to be far less auspicious, to use a funny word. And that's a shame. And the truth is, I don't hold any of you to blame for that. I think it's the nature of the system. And what I mean by that is, in order to become a member of the village council, you just have to be elected. You're not hired, you're not interviewed, nobody asks you if you have any relevant work experience. So of course you're not gonna know how to operate, you're not gonna know what standards to hold and what good looks like. How could you? How could you? Anybody who joins a council. So that's true now, it's been true in years past, and it will be true in years going forward. And so there's a systematic problem in the function of the village council. None of your fault, it's just the way it is. So I do have an agenda. If you end up saying, okay, we can work with this troublemaker. By the time this partial term is up in 2026, at which point I will gladly step aside. I'm not in this for the long haul. In case any of you are wondering, I'm just not. The St. Charles Village Council should be held in high regard by virtually everyone who's paying attention to the village. There should be no question about the quality of how this council operates and the conduct of the people in it. And that should be true for the next round of trustees who are elected. What is it gonna take so that there's a permanent improvement in terms of how the council operates. That's fundamentally my agenda. And when we do that, the entire village will be in better hands. The village government will work more efficiently. It's great already, but a lot of the drama that's unnecessary will disappear. It'll just be gone. How to make it long-lasting, how to make that kind of improvement long-lasting. I would pose any new council member should be required to get some education about what it means to be a council member. But we don't have to invent that. I was looking online thinking about this, and the Michigan Municipal League provides training just especially for trustees of village councils. At the very least, level up, at the very least, get an understanding about how municipalities operate, the role you have, how it plays with the village manager, and keeps going. I would also pose a code of ethics for the council, a code of conduct, and perhaps the ability for the council to remove a trustee or member of the council who's in breach of ethics by a majority vote of the council. Put some teeth in it, so that there's a motivation to be above board at all times. Those are a couple of ideas. I would think that an ad hoc committee could be formed to focus on that and make a recommendation to the whole council. That's the gist of it, in terms of how I'm thinking about it and what we can do. I'm not the kind of person, I'm nervous, my mouth is so dry. I hate public speaking. The village council has an important role to play on behalf of the residents of the village, and it's an honor to serve the village. Because it's an honor, we should be great at it. We should be great at it, and that can take some work, but it's sustainable, and it'll change the nature of how the village operates effectively forever. That's what I'm interested in. Thank you.
Thank you.
Change, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
How would you change it? I mean, you said you're not in it for the long haul, you just wanna be until the next election, you're gonna bow out.
Yeah.
Why would you wanna do that?
I don't actually want to be on the council. I feel it's a civic responsibility. I don't have any personal interest in it. I would do it to serve the community. So I'm not in it for the long haul. I'm in it to make a difference while I can, that will last. So establishing some of those patterns of requiring education, requiring a shared understanding of what ethics, a code of ethics and conduct look like, with some teeth in it that can last longer than any of us. That's how.
I've got a question.
Oh, no. Thank you, Mr. Grandroth.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Public comments in a few minutes. Christine Newman.
My name is Christine Newman, and I worked, actually this week, if I had stayed, I would have worked for the village for 50 years. And I have started as an ambulance billing clerk and made my way up to village manager, and then did 8 years on the village council. And then I'm retired. But this opportunity to come back for just the 2 years and sit on that council and bring the history I have with me. I know everything we've done. I know who did it. I worked for every manager we ever had. And then I also worked for the ones that came after me, because I went back on the council after I waited 4 years to give it a chance. And I think I could help you all understand better what a village council is and how it operates. I would be here to answer any questions you might have. I don't really have an agenda per se. I'm similar to him. I'm just offering myself back for 2 years. And I know the rules, I know the regulations, I wrote the budget. I've done it all. I wrote grants, I operated grants. and I just think I could be an asset to you for the next 2 years. And I also would not run again. I'm just here to help you understand how a village council is supposed to operate. And I've listened to all the meetings online, and after each meeting, some of them are very upsetting. So I just offer myself up for the 2 years, and I could answer any questions any of you have about anything. So,
Why would you come out of retirement? I mean, what could you really add to this in the little bit of time you're here? I mean,
why would I come out of
what
retirement?
you're not, you don't wanna fall through. I mean, what's the reason for getting up there? What are you gonna teach us in the year and a half, 2 years? I mean,
A
you
lot.
really think you're gonna change a lot?
I really do.
I
I
really
really
think so.
think I can help you
I don't
understand
think you can.
the way it's supposed to operate. Every council prior to
Everybody's got their own
you.
opinion.
Yeah, they
right?
do.
Yes, they do.
They do, and being kind is one of them. Not attacking people in the audience is another. There's a lot of things that can be learned that some of the people on this council just don't get. And it's a privilege to serve on the council, and I loved serving on the council. But I had health issues, so I quit. But now those are all gone and I'm fine. But I really think every council that I had when I was working had some more experienced person on it, older person if you want to say it, and they knew the history of this village, and they knew the people in this village. And I know the people in this village, and I know the history of this village. So it was always helpful to have that one person there that could say, no, that's not right. Like if somebody stands up in the audience and makes a statement and it's false, they can say, no, that's false. I was here for that, this is how it was handled, this is where it came from, this is how we came to this conclusion. I just think it would be very helpful if you had someone on here that had some kind of history with this village, just for the 2 years.
Somebody asked you a month or two ago if you wanted to get involved in doing some community things. I'm not gonna say what it was, but they had asked you and they had told me that, you didn't wanna get involved, you didn't wanna come out of retirement, you didn't wanna.
Okay, I know who you talked to, and the reason I said no is because I don't wanna work with him. And what he
Work
was
with the community.
proposing didn't make any sense either. It had nothing to do with the
You don't
village.
wanna come in here to start problems, you just wanna come in here and coach us, I take it.
No, no. I think you could handle a few things better.
Well, I got big shoulders, I can
And,
handle it.
yeah, well, that's, big shoulders isn't what you need. Compassion, there's other things that are needed on this council. And every council that I worked for or with was not like this council. And I was proud to be on those councils, and I was proud to make those decisions. And we listened to everybody, we put everything together, and we came to a conclusion that benefited everyone in the village, not just one person over here or one person over there. You have to, as a council, understand that you're here to do things with the taxpayers' dollars that benefits the most people. And I can help you attain that.
Do you think you can separate yourself from the cliques and all the other little things?
That's enough,
I don't
that's
care
enough,
about
that's enough.
clicks.
Yeah.
I've never cared about clicks, and don't say yeah to me that way, because you don't know me.
Oh, yes, I do.
Let's
I
stop
know
with the
enough.
Inquisition, I think
Paul,
we need to move
Paul,
on, maybe
please,
discuss the
please.
candidates.
I'm gonna
Thank
sit
you.
down.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chris.
There's your-
This is fun, yeah.
Discussion?
I agree with Chris, I think that she could teach us some stuff.
I think Chris offers a lot of stability, and that's something that this council needs right now.
I think we ought to let the people vote on it. I don't think we should vote on
Well,
it.
this is what we do.
how it works.
This is how this works. It's an appointment, not an
You
election.
can try it. I'm just saying, I think you should let the people do it. I don't think we should.
They
That's
will.
not how-
The
that's
next
not how it
election-
works.
thing I'm
In the
telling
next
you.
election cycle, they
Go
will.
ahead, I already know what you're gonna vote.
I make a motion, we appoint Chris Newman for the council position.
Second.
Roll call vote, please.
Paul Jendersky.
No.
Michael Nesbitt,
Yes.
Kathy Harris,
Yes.
Darcy McSwain, Jennifer Rosser Nesbitt,
Yes.
There you go.
Edgar Titoff.
Yes.
And Chris. And thank you.
Item H, park trains.
Edit on your desk, the Park Committee, so Paul Krasaniak, I don't know if you guys know Paul, he's an educator who lives down on Ithaca. He and his family go to parks, I feel like, every weekend or every night. And he visits varying parks all throughout the state and then texts me, hey, what do you think about this? Hey, how much do you think this is? Hey, we should get this. And I said, we'll take it to the committee, we'll take it to, and so this is another one of his, hey, I saw this on Facebook. It is a pretty cool rendition, you can pass it around the crowd, but it's similar to the ship that's in Coal Miners Park, but instead it's a train.
Did you go and check them out too?
I have not.
No, I mean, did it Paul?
Oh yeah, he went down and talked to the guy. So it's, all the wood is pressure treated, ground contact rated, so it lasts a long time. So it's an engine, it's a tanker, and it's a tender. So for one is, for all,
Is this in lieu of, like, would we be getting rid of the ship?
nope,
through
nope,
this,
so
or-
their idea, their recommendation is for two of these, $4,000, which would come out of their capital outlay of $31,000. They'd like to put one between the ball fields and the back of coal miners, so that the siblings that aren't playing could have something to play on.
Yeah.
And they'd like to see potentially one and start building back lumberjack.
Okay.
So this is his idea. You should have two pictures, one from inside the caboose and one, it's one of those things where you just give kids something to climb on and they'll climb on it. So we did have 2 extra cameras donated, so we put cameras in the back of the park
Can we
as
keep
well.
it down in the audience, please? Thank you.
So we have additional cameras that, when the Rebel market was going on this weekend, the police phones were going off the hook because people were walking by, like it alerts you. So they're recommending 2 of these, one for each park, and they're hoping that they voted unanimously for this and would like to see this. And it comes with everything you see from the tracks to the caboose and everything, so it should be pretty stable. It shouldn't move because there's some concern about one flooding, one vandalization, kind of like the ship, but. This is their start at adding to our parks.
So what's the upkeep, do you think?
Kind of like the ship, you'll probably have to treat it or paint it every few years. But I will say, since the cameras have gone in, graffiti has gone down.
Oh, good.
I think that's a fair assessment.
Be some fun things in there. Yeah.
Oh, in the front of the park, maybe. Yeah.
Got, I think we have 3 more cameras to get out, or 2? 2, we got, okay.
One that's down right now, I think a second one's down, I'm working with a company to get it replaced.
Okay. So this is the last thing
There's a warranty on them, you know that, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm working with. I gave him the serial number, I'm just waiting.
These
for
are
him to get that
amazing.
out.
And the guy will deliver them, so there'll be a little bit of an extra cost, not too much, well within the park's budget.
And he'll put them together.
Put them together.
I think that's a great price.
Absolutely. I'll make a motion to purchase 2 of these wooden trains, one for coal miners and one for lumberjack.
I will support that.
Roll call, please.
Paul Jenderski,
Yeah.
Michael Nesbitt,
Yes.
Kathy Harris,
Yes.
Darcy McSwain,
Yes.
Jennifer Rosser Nesbitt,
Yes.
Edgar Tito.
Yes.
I just text Paul, he'll let the gentleman know, my guests would be here, they could be here within this month. At least one of them will be here within this month.
That's fantastic.
So that would go over to the.
Probably the coal miners first, since the Little League is picked up.
Text,
And
text Paul and tell him he should be doing, he's a shop teacher anyway.
Yes, I didn't know that.
Uh-huh.
He doesn't talk about that. Weird.
I asked if the DPW could build one, but.
He did bring in extra
Oh.
stuff to see if DPW could make it. Mr. Thurston said no.
Don't get the cart.
They have one of those at the zoo and it's very popular for the little kids. So-
Department reports,
Grandbabies are gonna.
DPW.
Okay, last month in water, we used 3,709,000 gallons. We put in a new shut-off box at the freezer, located 50 shut-off locations for Spicer. Took a disinfectant byproduct sample to Lansing.
delivered shut-off notices, had a meeting with H2O Compliance about cross-connection program, and turned on water for the school's football fields. The sewer was 9,406,000 gallons. We cleaned out a sewer pump on Walnut, finished spring dumping of the lagoons, jetted the main sewer line on Clinton Street, took our sewer samples to Chestnut, and installed new capacitors on the Water Street flood pumps. In streets, we kept up, tried to keep up with patching, uptown garbage, put up some new banners uptown, which we had to stop, we ran out of ties to hook them. Didn't quite get enough. Cleaned up the waterfall, oh, wait a minute. Where's that, streets? Did some landscaping on Saginaw, Hosmer, Sunview, and Ithaca Road. Picked up wood left behind by Chop.
He did say thank you, by the way.
What's that?
The yard, yes.
Oh, yeah. Lap on brush and made the first lap with the sweeper, and after all its repairs, it is working flawlessly. In the parks, we kept trash picked up, bathrooms cleaned and trails cleaned as best we could. Cleaned up the waterfall and got it going. Put the kayak and fishing piers in. Sprayed the front of the park for beautification day. Cleaned up 9 trees that fell in the windstorm in the back of the park. Removed 12 loads of pine needles at coal miners. Terry mowed, helped unload new bleachers for the t-ball field. Put up a new top rail at a dog park. Put together and delivered a new bike rack to the coal miners park. Cleaned up fence in front of the coal miners park. Equipment, we fixed leaky hoses on dump trucks, changed oil, creased equipment, kept trucks as clean as possible. We responded to 40 service calls and 20 stickings.
I had a question. Somebody asked me if that front end loader that we've got, we don't own that, do we? Do we? I didn't, we owned it. I don't know.
It's 3 or 4 years old.
Yeah, that's one of the first purchases big purchases we made when I got here.
Yep.
The other
Just
one
don't
was.
see it around. Well, I guess they do in the winter. I guess I never thought about it.
What
Somebody
was
asked me
the
about
streets?
it. I don't know.
Yeah, we put the big wing on it for winter.
Okay,
That's
yeah.
how we do
that's
the
what it
streets.
is.
Yep. And that's how we just moved all the wood chips.
Yeah, so I don't wanna steal his thunder for next month, but this is the list that we get for beautification day. Color coordinated now, just so Bart can understand it. Jokes. But, everything from blue bike across Coal Miners Park, red bike, Riverbed, elementary, back parking, Thurston Middle School, Rail Trail North, Tammy Scott's bed at Sunview, Coal Miners Park, Farrell bed, Township office, Pashonic building, Curbs Mercantile, Daffodil Hill by River, Lumberjack, Haunted House, Dr. Klein's, Electric Sign, Thurston. And it's, 2 loads, 15 loads, 16 loads, 2 loads, 2, half, quarter, 3, call me. So it's a lot of work that goes into it, but it's a great turnout, great event, and a lot of people live for this, so excited that it's happening.
And we actually got it done in 2 days. We just finished today.
Okay, so our 28 pots are full, and then the
38
38 red pots at the school, all in the last 2 days.
Hey, Jason, what is the, Bart, whatever you want.
Either
Whoever
way, it's
you are.
good.
Um,
The flat top's gone now, Bart, don't worry.
What are the cones at the corner of Flint and Saginaw?
That's where we had to dig up that line and fix it. And because it's still sinking a little bit, we put it around there. We gotta get some asphalt in there, but we just don't have it right now, and we have to get this stuff done.
Do you know how soon it would be done? I'm just
Huh?
asking. Do you know how soon it would be done?
As soon as we can. We gotta go get some new patch.
Okay.
The stuff we got's left over from last year, and it's,
Just seems like it's been there for a while is what I'm.
that's why it's still settling. We want it to settle. It was full of water
Gotcha,
when we filled
okay.
it, and it takes a while. We keep adding to it, it keeps settling. We want it to stop settling.
Okay,
That's why we're doing it. We don't wanna put anything somewhat permanent in until it's done doing what it's doing.
okay, I got you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep.
Police.
All right, so we had 100 self-initiated activities, 41 stops, 14 tickets, 47 calls for service, and we totaled 56 reports, and with 5 arrests for the month. Couple of things to note. Mr. Westlock will be happy when I say this, that he asked last year, one of the goals that we had when we got enough employees, enough officers, is if we can get somebody to utilize that bike that we have in the garage. And in June, Officer Catherwood would go into the certification class to be able to ride that bike on the rail trail and be able to patrol with that thing. So it'll be, gonna be put to use, so. Told you, I forget where you moved to. Oh, there you go. Told you when we got enough people, I'd get somebody down there, and it's gonna happen. So, she started looking at the bike, we had to do a little minor repairs on it, tires were flat, had to get the chains back on it. Set the seat right for her, cause she's a bit shorter than the last person that used it, but, she was out riding it around, and the lights working and everywhere, and we had a video of it, so, it's ready to go, she's just gotta get through the class. I recently did a 2-day salvage vehicle inspector class in Lansing. What that does, it consists of is now that for like auto body shops in town, instead of to outsource that resource to have these vehicles be inspected, I can do that now for them. And it's a cost that comes back to the village, and then that cost goes to a fund, and that fund goes to the stuff that I use for doing these repairs, any type of computer equipment that I may need for it. So it's not actually gonna be any cost to any village or anything like that, it just comes from them from doing these inspections. And then what the big thing is what the instructor says, well, you get this money, and if you run out of stuff, well, you need a vehicle to go to these inspections, right? So use it to pay for your police vehicle in the end, cause you can word it like that. And so, in the long term, if we save up enough, it could be for another vehicle or something like that, but, I'm not expecting to be too busy, but the option's there for our local businesses, and outsource it to local towns here too, to be able to do those inspections. It's just for salvage vehicles, so you have to come in, you have to inspect the vehicle, look at the VINs and all that kind of stuff. And then if we do get, I offered up to the chiefs now too, within the county, cause if they get a vehicle that was burned or a severe crash and they can't locate it, then the salvage vehicle team comes in and they can find the other hidden VIN numbers that are on the vehicle that we know about to look for, to find out where this vehicle belongs to, like if it's a burned vehicle and they can't ID the person like that, so. That's what it's for. I thoroughly enjoyed it, 2-day class. Just was kind of up my alley for that time. I like doing it, so. Anything else? I can't think of anything. Nothing exciting really happened call volume wise. We did have the one shows on there, the first call says vehicle theft. That was a domestic issue where it's basically use of vehicle without owner's intent. But the vehicle's back already, we got it back the next day. That person's been charged and we're just waiting to pick them up.
That's quite the situation at United Financial in Salem Township, wasn't it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm, yep.
You need to, well, Township needs to send that in as America's most dumbest criminal.
Yeah. Yeah, it happens quite often. It just most of the time it just doesn't come out like that, so.
I couldn't believe it.
Yep.
I have something, I wanna make everybody aware of something happened in the court system. Some certain individual, some dirty stunts were done, and it's cost us another lawsuit, and I'm not gonna get into the weeds too much on it, but, certain couple people have cost us another lawsuit, and it's coming. And I think between the two, the arrogance and the poor judgment, I'd like to say you should be ashamed, but you guys should be fired for what you did. And then there's another one. There was a text and people complaining about somebody driving around without a license. Been brought up several times. The guy's got several misdemeanors, 2 high misdemeanors, felony burglary, felony home invasion, felony driving while intox, felony weapons offense, felony weapons possession of ammunition as a felon, and he's a habitual offender. He keeps doing it. And what did you tell him when they complained about it? That you're not gonna do nothing because it's a conflict of interest. Remember saying that? You gonna deny saying that?
I have no idea who you're talking about or what you're talking about.
Oh yeah, it's all about Mr. Titoff over here. You told a couple of people, and I've got statements, I have statements from people, I have statements from people.
Excuse me.
Well, I'm telling you right, I'm gonna make everybody aware, because he could cost us another lawsuit and bankrupt this community. Him and Miss Regina Smith are aiding and abetting Mr. Titoff. I'm telling you right now, it's all been turned over to the prosecuting attorney, internal affairs, and the state police, because you two are aiding and abetting a convicted felon. His car's parked at our house right now, and you let him drive. You know he's driving. If he gets in an accident and hits somebody with this known, we're gonna get bankrupt.
Prove it that I know that he's driving.
Oh, I got it right here.
All those in favor?
I will read the statement.
Those opposed?
I will read the statement.
Closed session. Let's have some order. Let's have some order, please.
motion to reopen the open meeting.
Support.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Meeting opened, reopened.
Mr. Crowfoot, take off.
No, he's there. Or, I thought he
No,
was
I
on.
don't
No,
see him
guess
yet.
he said take off.
Okay, well, so spring is sprung. People are starting to fix up their homes, pole barns, etc., garages. So as you see, $1,275 in April. Building a pole barn, mechanical water heater, building addition, mechanical furnace, plumbing, and barn plumbing. So normally a sign that winter is over when people start fixing up their homes. On the backside, you'll see the active complaint logs. One was to recheck. Obviously, there's been an extension due to health reasons. 2 was resolved. 3 is back open and worse, and lawyers are now involved. It's bad again. I don't know if you've driven by there, but
For where?
632.
Oh, yeah, it's bad again. Yeah.
So lawyers are now involved. 4 recheck next week or today. Hoping he'd be here. Recheck 523 on 5, and then resolved on number 6.
I'm glad to see that 327 Flint Street's finally doing something.
Yep. So he's supposed to recheck probably Friday. He'll check.
Okay, public comment, folks?
Oh, I think you left.
Are we doing public comment?
Yeah, yeah.
I just wanted to let everybody know I'm the township clerk, and on Saturday morning, we are changing out all the veterans' flags. We have a new plan where we change them out once a year. If anybody would like to come, it's really pretty cool, because the American Legion and the Honor Society participate together, which is really cool. So if anybody wants to come out, we should be there about 9:45 in the morning. We're at the Riverside Cemetery. Thank you, I think you knew that, you could have just said.
Did you say that's
So anyway,
Saturday, what day, is it?
Saturday morning, yeah, we're gonna do it then. It is really cool. That's all.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody else?
I just had a quick question. I know DPW is really busy, but the shoulders of the roads are starting to get broke off a lot because there's that much of a drop off. It needs to be gravelled or sanded or something.
It's coming. It's coming.
It's coming?
It's coming.
Okay, that's all I was.
Yep.
Okay.
We actually we just got a stone slinger. We're seeing if we can get that working. If not, it's gonna be rake and shovel, but it's coming.
Be sure. Be sure.
Chris?
I just want to say thank you, and I'll do the best I can.
We know you
No, you will.
You will.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Can I get a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Support.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Meeting adjourned.